Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go over how to write an equation given 2 points. So yesterday was a and a point, today is 2 points. So we are looking at -1, 2, and 2, 128. Well, we know the equation that we're looking at for every single one of these, because they're all exponential, is y equals ab to the x. Okay. And so our question is, how are we going to figure out what a is? It was a lot easier yesterday when we were given the a value, but now we don't have that. So let's look at how we're going to do this. Okay. So first, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to plug both of these in with everything we have. So we know that this is xy, this is xy, so I'm going to set up two separate equations. Okay. We're going to have 2 equals ab to the -1, and we're going to have 128 equals ab to the 2. Okay? Now we're going to solve both of these and try to get a by themselves, I believe. Yes, we're going to get a by itself. So the first thing we're going to do is divide both of these by b to the -1. Oops, -1. And I get 2 over b to the -1 equals a. Divide both sides by b squared. These cancel, I'm left with 128 over b squared equals a. What do we have in common with both of these sides? A by itself. Do you guys remember back to when we did substitution? That's basically what we're going to do. So we're going to go 2 to the b to the -1 equals 128 b squared. Now, we've got two fractions, so what does this kind of look like to you guys? Cross multiplying, good. So we're going to cross here, and we get 2b squared. We're crossing here. Okay, we're crossing here, and we get 128 b to the -1. Is everybody good so far? We're going to go over through this, and we're going to write steps just like we did yesterday. Let me get through one problem now. Okay, so now my issue is I want to get b by itself. Well, that means I'm going to have to get all the b's on one side, right? So let's start with this. So I'm going to divide both sides by b to the -1. Okay. I now have, sorry, I'm going to have to write it up here. I now have 2b squared over b to the -1 equals 128. So we talked about this yesterday. If we're dividing, what do we do with that? We subtract, right? So we're going to erase some of this. Okay. So this is a mess. I'm going to go through it one more time. Hopefully my computer won't be being crazy. Nope. Okay. We have to pause for 1 second so Miss Murphy can catch up because my computer went nuts. Ugh. All right, we've got -1, 2, 2, 128. I'm not sure why we're talking while I'm talking, but if you want to make me upset, keep going. Okay, so we've got x and y and y. We've set them both equal. We've done 2 equals ab to the negative 1. We've got 128 equals ab squared. Then we've solved them. We get 2 over b to the negative 1 equals a. And we've got 128 over b squared equals a. We've set both of them equal to each other. 2b to the negative 1 and 128b squared. We set them equal to each other by substitution. We cross multiplied and we got 2b squared equals 128b to the negative 1. Okay, that's what we have so far. Now, what we're going to use is we're going to use exponent rules to solve it from here. We're going to divide both sides by b to the negative 1. Do you guys remember the rules from yesterday? If you're dividing, what happens to the exponents? What am I doing to it? Subtracting, right? So it's like 2b to the 2 minus a negative 1 equals 128. What is minus a negative? What happens? We add. So we get 2b cubed equals 128. Is this starting to look better? What do I do now? Divide. How many times does 2 go into 128? 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 4 4 times. Okay, now we have to find the cube root. Do you guys remember how to find the cube root? So if you have a calculator, which I do somewhere, you take 64, the little caret button, to the 1 divided by 3, and we're going to get 4. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64, so that makes sense. Okay, so now we found B. Do you think we can find A? Let's plug it back in to be able to find it. So we've got B is 4, so I'm going to plug it into this one because it doesn't have any negative exponents, and I don't like that. 128 equals A4 squared. What is 4 squared? Why are you talking while I'm talking? Please stop. 4 squared would give us 16. Then we divide both sides by 16. 128 divided by 16 gives us 8. So we write our final equation. Yay, we're done. Y equals 8 times 4 to the x. All right. So do you think we should list the steps before we go on so we know what to do? Okay, let's look at this problem in order to list our steps. This is if you have 2 points. So what was step number 1? Step number 1 was the same as step number 1 yesterday, right? What did we do first? We labeled. What was the second step we did? We labeled these and then we went to here. What was that? We made 2 equations by plugging it in. How about that? We made 2 equations by plugging the numbers in. What was step number 3? What was I doing? Anybody? What's alone right here? Hey, get A alone. What happened here? I substituted. Combine the equations. Now, what did I solve for next? B. Solve for B. And then once I had B, what did I do? I plugged it into one of the equations. Plug in 2 one of the original equations. And then we simply find A, and then plug everything in. Okay, I know we had 6 steps here and 8 steps here, but really that's only 2 more steps. We can do this. Are we ready to try the next one?
No.
Are we going to do it anyways? Yay! Okay. All right. So let's look at number 2. Number 2, we have 2 points again. -1 and 1, 1 and 9. What's my first step, guys? Label. X, Y, X, Y. Okay, let's look. My second step, we make 2 equations by plugging them in. So remember, we always have that y equals ab to the x. So let's make 2 equations. First, I'm going to have 1 equals ab to the -1. And then I'm going to have 9 equals ab to the 1. So we're on step 3. We have to get a by itself. You should be writing this down. Nobody should just be sitting here. We're going to divide both sides by b to the -1. These cancel, and I'm left with 1 over b to the -1 equals a. Divide by b to the 1. I get 9 over b to the 1 equals a. Now we're on 4. We're going to, what does 4 say? Substitute. So we're going to substitute these in. So we get 1 over b to the -1 equals 9b to the first. Now, how am I going to solve for it? It's set up as a fraction, so you're going to cross multiply. I see a lot of people. B to the first equals 9b to the -1. So what am I going to do? You're going to divide. And when I'm dividing, these subtract. So what do I get? 1 minus -1 gives me what? 2. So b squared equals 9. How am I going to get b by itself? Square root? Yes. Go up a little bit?
No. You went to b to the first equals 9.
Yeah.
You did not put that there.
I just didn't put that there. Because 1 times b to the first is just 1, so I didn't worry about it. Okay, so I've got b. So now I'm going to pick one of the equations and plug in b. So I know b is 3. So let's pick the blue one. So I'm going to say 9 equals a times 3 to the first. Anything to the first power is itself, right? So I get 9 equals a to the third. And then what do I do? Find a by doing what? How do I get rid of that 3? Divide. 3 equals a. And so now, final answer, y equals 3 times 3 to the... You guys starting to feel a little bit better about these? You want me to go over it again or scroll back down? Yeah. See how we got b? When I...
b over 1, then you did plus negative.
Yeah, because it's 1 minus a negative, because when we divide, we're subtracting the exponents. 1 minus a negative becomes positive. Right? You good? Okay. Guys ready to go over number 3?